Fire, fire, fire.
Alright, let's do it. What is this? Base Japanese author shuts down annoying Westerners throwing tantrums about her work. Yeah, I've seen this. I have been enjoying Gachiakuta a lot. I'm on episode 16. I think there's 24 episodes, so I'm almost done. I don't get it. Why are they... Why is Twitter like this? Why do they have to ruin everything?
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So what I'm going to cover in this video is the epitome of an issue that's been brewing for many years, where Western Twitter users are being obnoxious towards Japanese creators. Unfortunately for these Japanese creators like Gachiakuta, the author of Gachiakuta, as their franchises have gotten more popular, they've gotten a lot of attention overseas, and unfortunately it's attracted some of the most annoying people on social media, whether it's your routine screecher on Twitter, activists, or anything alike. They are targeting this series and trying to turn it into something that fits their agenda, and it's gotten so bad that recently Gachiakuta has expressed her frustration with how toxic people have been overseas regarding her work. Now
she's gotta just stop reading it. I'm sorry. You can't read these fucking comments.
In case you're not familiar, Gachiakuta is a very popular franchise, just like any other popular franchise.
I really like it. I really enjoy it. And I know why the Western audience is freaking out about it too and attaching themselves to it, because it's very easy to make like an OC or self-insert. I don't know what it is, but mangas where like characters have unique powers or they have like unique backstories, people attach themselves to and self-insert themselves very badly. Other mangas and animes that don't have this type of style, they usually don't get like co-opted by Western studios. Yeah, My Hero Academia syndrome. Yeah, because they all have unique powers. Is it actually good? No, I really enjoy it. Yeah, I like it.
It's brewed a pretty big overseas group of fans, and that attention sometimes comes with some consequences, including a series of harassment which began with this character that for some reason, mainly based on headcanon, people thought was trans from this franchise. And even fake screenshots coming from what was supposed to be the author were going around on Twitter claiming this character
that is so cringe.
Was trans, to the point where the author, Gachiakuta, had to come out and clarify that character was not transgender.
And I'm sure that had zero negative consequences, and everyone on Twitter and Reddit and Blue Sky was totally, completely understanding and reasonable. Right, chat? Right? Like, really, though? Let me pull out my freaking crystal ball, right? Everyone melted down, probably called her transphobic, because she, like, rejected this, like, bullshit lore headcanon that mentally ill people online fucking made up, and then because of that, they're calling for a boycott. I'm literally just guessing. I barely know anything about it. I've just been enjoying the show.
Now, people were upset about that, calling her transphobic among...
Of course. It's almost like this has happened like 10 trillion times at this point. Yeah.
Other things for clarifying the status of her own created character.
No, you can't do that!
But you had people like this saying, these guys are celebrating and they don't know
guys,
that
it's called pattern
themselves
recognition, man.
Is non-binary. So first they made assumptions about the character being trans.
The series is very queer. It's literally a bunch of like underage kids and adults freaking killing trash beasts and dealing with raiders. Like, what do you mean? Very queer. What makes something queer?
And they made assumptions about the author being non-binary, which, as you can see by the community note placed on this tweet, was made up as well. Another round of headcanon, this time not targeting fictional characters, but the real author herself, who had to come out and basically say, any news about me being non-binary is just that. It's news to me, because I've never said anything.
We're actually at the point where we're telling people what they are. Blue Sky said I was trans. Yeah, shit, I am. Yeah, this is like me when I found out that I'm trans because Blue Sky said so, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not, but all right. Wait, you're not? I didn't even know this about me. I guess, like, what?
Thing like that. And people on Twitter, the Western side, were so narcissistic about this, they actually attacked the author, claiming that her denying that she's non-binary was actually creating a space for transphobia.
So because they're denying it, that means it's their fault that people are transphobic on Twitter. Therefore, they should just do it to appease them because people online are upset. Thumbs up. Amazing logic. Very sane, not mentally ill logic.
And that she was trying to bring transphobes into the fandom. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they were shaming her for correcting headcanon about her own identity. But that's not the end of it.
No, chat, not the identity of her own character that she made up. Her actual, like, she as a human being. They're trying to tell her what she is. Let that sink in. They want her to, like, say, oh yeah, I'm non-binary, you guys.
Then she came out and had to basically clarify that people could not use official covers as templates for original art, which is a very standard thing to expect from people overseas and globally when it comes to your own IP. But of course, this was met with more harassment. She made a very simple statement asking people to please not make it confusing as to whether or not people were creating official art or not. Just don't use the official templates. That is it. Very simple stuff. But of course,
that's totally fair. That is within her right as an artist.
She's a Japanese author, and this tweet is in English. It's very clear who this message was directed to. It is embarrassing that this Japanese author has to come onto social media, type in a different language to try to reel in the crazies overseas who are disrespecting her work openly. And of course, that was met with more harassment from Western users, calling her all sorts of names. Here's just one of many examples, basically saying that she's a moron and she's not appealing, but a really good artist, though. Keep pumping out the content so I can politicize it.
These people don't actually enjoy her work. They're just saying that for freaking updates on Reddit and attention.
On Twitter for likes. And you even had people over the past couple of weeks since that happened in mid-March doing something like this, where they're making characters from other series African-American and then tagging Gachiakuta, basically trying to rub it in her face as if she would have an issue with this based on her previous statement. Absolutely insane. So it comes as no surprise that yesterday, during a live stream, Gachiakuta got upset and expressed clear.
This is why a lot of mangakas, she looks like she's quite young, maybe in her 20s, maybe like really early 30s. She looks young. I think all the fucking old mangakas and stuff, like, they just know that interacting with the Western, like, fan base is impossible. You just can't.
Her frustration and had to shut many questions
How old
down,
is she?
including questions about fan canon, shipping, and if she's non-binary and racist, among other things. This is how far we have fallen, ladies and gentlemen, where Japanese authors, even very patient ones like Kay,
probably like 20
have
something.
to come out and eventually put their foot down because they've had enough. And here is a rough translation of what was going on here provided by this user. Basically saying, from my perspective, this is a common sense rule. But if nobody says it, things will turn into chaos, so I'll say it. If someone brings unofficial settings or outright incorrect ones right in front of me,
as in tagging her and trying to get her attention.
What do you think about this? Hey, look at this. What do you think? Hey, over and over again. Of course, I'm going to reject it. Many people have forgotten, but I am a part of the official side of Gachiakuta itself. What frustrates me is not the unofficial settings themselves. It's the people who throw childish tantrums about them. And she later says, I
feel
don't
so
want
bad
to
for
be
her, man.
misunderstood. I don't want this to be misunderstood. But differing opinions are something that inevitably come with any work. All I want is for people to understand the boundary between what is official and what is fan created. So once again, she has to come out and say, please respect my boundaries. This is the second time she's had to say this in the last month. That is a tragedy, ladies and gentlemen.
And do you want to know why this whole, like, oh, she's non-binary, and if she doesn't say it, then she's being transphobic? The reason why this even started is because apparently a lot of mangakas want to stay anonymous and don't want to, like, reveal who they are or what gender they are because they wanted people to focus on, like, the actual artwork. And that's totally valid. I totally get it. She started asking people to say, oh, she's they, them, so that it's, like, ambiguous. And they wanted to be anonymous, but then they had to, like, say, oh, well, so if you're they, them, that means you're non-binary. It's like, oh my god, man. It's just, like, so stupid. Yeah, blood in the water type shit.
And the quotes, a lot of them really reflect this, saying, these people are insufferable, bro. They
nice
don't even
people,
effing care about the story anymore, just which characters affirm my political beliefs.
These people don't actually watch the show, I bet you. If I had, like, I don't know, some superpower, I could check if they actually watched it.
And mental illness. Another one saying, this goes out to the
probably
hoodweebs and the tourists.
9 times out
Your
of 10.
favorite manga or anime creator effing hates you. It's the usual suspects at it again. The West is obsessed with race and sexual identity. None of that stuff matters. Just watch the effing anime. It must be genuinely frustrating for a mangaka to go from the polite and respectful Japanese audience to the rabid Western audience. And
I've seen tweets that I didn't expect to be translated into, like, I want to say, like, English, and I thought they were quite funny. When you, like, press the translate button on a tweet made by a Japanese person, and they've been really crude, but this compares to nothing for on like the Western audience saying the most heinous shit imaginable. They're like, I hope this person dies, and like, if you don't take on the non-binary role, then you are transphobic and you are leading to the genocide of trans people. And it's like, you went from 0 to 100 for literally no reason. You have an actual fucking problem.
here's some more replies to the related tweet saying Western fans literally try to claim she was non-binary. They had their headcanon. They headcanon not just fictional people, but real ones too. The hoodweebs and the rainbow regards are a huge plague in anime right now. I remember when these same regards harassed the My Hero Academia mangaka.
It's unfortunate that fandoms like this, where you can very easily self-insert and make characters of yourself and like want to like be a part of it. That's the biggest problem. I've noticed this trend. If you look at it, like ones that are like not based around people having superpowers or like having unique traits, those fandoms don't really run into these problems.
Drawing his own character and posting it. In quotes, not black enough.
It's unfortunate,
genuinely. It is his character. That was another very funny situation. But don't worry. People were actually upset about what she said in a different way. This quote saying, how long till the dude bros infiltrate, judging by the quotes and comments?
Dude bros?
Here's
what?
Another one saying, mind you, we're just being happy and gay. We aren't even doing anything. Here's another one saying they are already in the quote retweets blaming black people, which is interesting because here's another quote saying white people ruining something that's not theirs yet again.
This has gotta be rage bait. No blue check mark. I don't. What?
What a back-to-back
it's the white
series
people.
of
They
interactions
be
right
ruining
there.
it.
This is a good reminder as to some of the most successful creators out of Japan who basically say avoid social media. We've seen an example right here, but here's a very blatant one. Okay.
This is so true. I would even go as far as like being an influencer can be really difficult because you want to interact with your fans, but there's a lot of fans that are just either completely unhinged or you have an absurd amount of haters that act like they're your fans. and it's hard to differentiate between them. It's hard to differentiate between what's like a good real voice and a criticism and the people who just want to tear you down and pretend like they're your fans. It's very common.
This is a good reminder as to some of the most successful creators out of Japan who basically say avoid social media.
Yep.
We've seen an example right here, but here's a very blatant one, okay? When it came
It's my fucking goat. My fucking goat, man.
to the creator of Bleach, right? Saying this. I'll say this because there are some people who seem to misunderstand what readers have is not the right to change the story of a work. What they have is the right to choose whether to read it or not. If you don't like it, then just stop reading it. If you have the talent to create something more interesting than Bleach, then you should immediately become a mangaka. If it's really more interesting, you'll definitely succeed more than Bleach.
Yep.
If you say you can't draw, then work hard.
It's literally been around for 20 years. Like, okay, I understand criticism and saying like, oh, Bleach is like really dragged out and like the arc sucks. I don't like it. This thing is really slow. I get it. I understand. But like, there still is clearly like a desire and a need for it from the audience. You're just a fucking idiot on the internet screeching about it.
Become an editor
Just watch
and
something
give
else.
advice.
If you don't like Bleach, that's fine. But like, you can go watch something else amazing.
To mangaka.
Just go
if you
watch
truly
something
have
else.
talent, you'll be welcomed anywhere.
True.
But if you have no talent, no effort, and yet complain about those who do their best, if you're the kind of person who just gets in the way of people who are working hard, then just go hide somewhere.
Those people
keep
exist
your
in
eyes
Japan.
shut,
Yeah, absolutely.
Open your mouth.
I just think in the West it's more acceptable, and there's just like more like acceptance towards being a fucking toxic piece of shit.
And live off the rain and dirt. Unfathomably
That's
based.
my goat.
This is aged so well,
Based.
ladies and gentlemen. This whole situation is
why
beyond
he's the goat.
frustrating. This poor person, Kairana, has dealt with the worst of the worst. And you can tell they're a very patient, they seem like a nice person, and they've had a very long line of tolerance for unhinged behavior. They've tried to be accommodating, they've tried to be polite, and they're still being polite, by the way. But it seems like they're reaching the breaking point where they're putting their foot down and saying, enough is enough. I'm tired of this. This is frustrating. We need to have
She
boundaries.
just needs to detach
we need to
herself from
separate
the internet.
fan works from official.
I would hate for her to like fall out of love of making manga, which is totally a possibility because she thinks everybody hates her. Yeah.
works, and those who can't see the boundary, you're a problem. And I'm not going to entertain obnoxious questions asking about things that have either been settled already or are completely irrelevant and / are rude. And that seems to be the status quo right now. And unfortunately, as someone who wants to engage with the Western fan base, she is getting, well, the Western fan base. And that is truly a shame. I hope this doesn't deter her in her work. But yeah, unfortunately, she is getting her eyes opened to what it's really like over here on the Western side of Twitter when it comes to anything anime, manga, or related to it. It is an absolute disaster, and it's unfortunate
You can't.
the loud minority is causing such a bad image.
And that's why I find it funny when people who are really terminally online try to stream. It's like you can't make your entire existence based around what Twitter or like Reddit or 4chan says. Like if I based my emotions based off of what Reddit says, I'd probably not be on this planet right now. People say some of the most heinous, horrible, like just absolutely disgusting shit and like blatantly lying about me and like what I do and what I say, like providing no evidence and just hate circle jerking to the point where it's like a big black ball of just hatred. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here like I've read it once or twice and I'm like, thank God I don't go on there. I can't imagine my mental health if I had to look at Reddit all day, every day. It's encouraged by loud retards. Yeah, and they're chronically online. They have nothing else better to do other than hate and goon and hate. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's why I feel so bad for her, because it's like, I really enjoy Gachiakuta. I really do. And I hope it doesn't, like, affect her. Yeah.
For fans overseas, but Again, as I stated at the beginning of this video, this is not a new issue. It's something that's really
Why can't we
been
just
building
all
for a
goon
long
and
time.
not
It's just
hate?
kind of really shown itself in the most obnoxious and blatant way with Gachiakuta. But anyways, that's going to do it
Is
for
it
this video. As
Gachiakuta?
always, feel free to share your
I
thoughts
say
about
Gachiakuta.
today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
I'm
I'll
bad
see
at
you next time.
pronouncing things. Gachiakuta. Okay, maybe I was saying it wrong, but doesn't matter. That was a good video. Yeah, no, if you really like revenge like shonen, I would recommend it. It's cool. I like it. I like the art style too. It's very unique. Yeah, I like all the characters and stuff. I heard the first chapters when it first came out in the manga. Yeah, it's really good. You should watch the anime. No. Alright, go check out Rivs's Desu.
Fire, 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 fire.